just think that's just his character. No personal vendettas. A little push and a shove is like kids play in the playground. Do you know what I mean? He was like 4 years old, and the teacher would say, "Oh, hold on." Same thing that happens, isn't it? It's just.
Take the fight.
He's running by it, and that's what makes him feel better. So we respect it. I just kind of listened and said my piece.
And you said to him, "What have you done? Tell us what you've done."
Because this is it, like you line up all the heavyweights. He was just talking about, oh, he's this, he's that, he's that. I said, but why are you worrying about what someone else has done? What have you done as a fighter to kind of boost your ego up?
The tension surrounding Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury has reached an explosive new level, and this time it's not just talk. What unfolded backstage following the recent event involving Tommy Fury has only added fuel to what is already one of the most heated rivalries in modern heavyweight boxing. According to those present, the atmosphere behind the scenes quickly turned hostile when Joshua and
Disease. I feel like he's toxic. I feel like you can put any top heavyweight in the world up here, and he'll probably say the same thing about them all. So it's just him as a person, and then he just needs a beat down, needs humbling. And instead of eating cheeseburgers, I'm going to feed him some humble pie.
Tommy Fury came face to face. What began as a tense exchange escalated into a full-blown confrontation, forcing security to step in. Moments later, Joshua broke his sentences, and his words painted a picture of a man pushed beyond his limit. Joshua didn't hold back. Clearly,
Disrespect me now, you disrespect me for a lifetime. And I'm petty, I hold grudges, but that's just who I am. So I'm not looking for his respect one bit. He is who he is, and I don't even want to change him.
Frustrated and visibly angry, he made it known that the level of disrespect had crossed a line. His tone was sharp, his message direct. He warned that actions have consequences, and this wasn't something he would simply brush aside. For Joshua, this wasn't just another verbal clash.
Of course, definitely, I see it happening this year. If AJ gets his shit together, like I say, he's gone through a lot. I understand that, but I don't think a tune-up fight helps or doesn't help. Let's just get the fight on. It should have happened 10 years ago, you know. So hopefully he can get.
It felt personal. He hinted strongly that both Fury brothers may have ignited something far more serious than they anticipated. What stood out most was Joshua's mindset. He made it clear that once someone crosses him, there's no easy path back. He admitted he holds grudges and doesn't forget moments like this. Interest in playing to the crowd or seeking approval. Instead, Joshua projected a cold, focused mentality, one that suggests whatever comes next will be handled on his terms, not anyone else's. On the other side, Tommy Fury appeared equally fired up, but with a different angle. He pushed for urgency.
You know, until we have a deal and sign a contract, it's not really AJ's style, because it doesn't really matter till it's all ready to go. I believe it will happen. Very confident of that. But yeah, that's all I can say.
Was Joshua considering getting in the ring at all?
He's not into it. If the fight's not...
Insisting that a fight between himself or even his brother's camp and Joshua should happen now, not later. Thus, in his view, too much time has already been wasted. He dismissed the idea of tune-up fights or gradual build-ups, arguing that the moment calls for immediate action. For him, this isn't just about hype.
So it's up to him. Tyson's signed, he's up for it, and he's ready to go.
When it comes to call-outs, that was quite an epic call-out by Tyson Fury. What did you make of it?
But AJ's here. I mean, you know, he's come to watch it, and that's an appropriate moment to do that. This is called promotion. That's what it's all about. And Tyson called him out, and you know, he either wants to do it or he don't want to do it. So one way or another, we'll find out very soon.
It's about settling unfinished business that should have been resolved years ago. While emotions are clearly running high, Joshua also offered a rare moment of honesty about his current situation. He revealed that outside the ring, he's been dealing with serious personal matters, issues that have influenced his timeline and decision-making.
Ain't Anthony Joshua next? I'm not interested in boxing. I'll eat 1,000 Easter eggs, go up to 35 stone, I'm out. I'm not interested. It's either him or I'm gone again. I'm not interested at all. I'm not interested in up-and-comers. I'm not interested in someone trying to prove a point over me. I don't care. I don't care about rankings. I don't care about belts. I only care now about AJ. That fight. That's the defining fight.
He emphasized that he's not avoiding any opponent, but rather ensuring that when he returns, he does so at full strength. For Joshua, timing isn't about fear, it's about preparation, recovery, and long-term performance. His promoter, Eddie Hearn, backed that stance completely. Yet Hearn made it clear that Joshua does not move
immediately after the fight. Now, AJ's response was, well, I'm not playing your game, I'm not going to jump in the ring, I'm not going to start bad-mouthing you, and you're not going to start pushing me around. You know, AJ's his own man, ultimately, as is Fury. Fury did it his way, where he thought he could incite a little bit of tension and make everybody start sitting up and believe that he actually meant business because he wants to fight AJ. I believe he wants to fight AJ because he knows now.
Based on noise or public pressure. According to him, Joshua operates strictly on official agreements. If it's not signed, it's not real. Hearn suggested that while the fight with Fury is likely to happen, Joshua won't engage in unnecessary back and forth until everything is finalized. It's a calculated approach, one that prioritizes control over chaos. Meanwhile, Frank Warren, representing Fury...
This was a good show, for the fans. Yeah, we will see. I think all the fans in Britain, he will see the fight. AJ versus Fury.
Who do you think will win that fight after what you saw tonight?
I don't know. I don't know. But my prediction is very bad. I say to you, Fury win the fight maybe in the first 4 rounds, but you see the results. I don't know. Really, I don't know.
His side painted a very different picture. He claimed that Tyson Fury is already fully committed and ready to go. According to Warren, the recent call-out wasn't random. It was strategic, intentional, and backed by real intent. He subtly shifted the pressure onto Joshua, framing the situation as a moment of decision. In his eyes, the ball is now firmly in Joshua's court.
Because listen, interim fights for both men, it's a dangerous thing. As you can see in there, listen, it takes one punch. So for me, if it's going to happen, let it happen next. And then the winner can probably go on to do AJ. If he wins, he could probably go and fight the world title. If Tyson wins, he can go and fight Usyk.
How does that fight go? How does your brother?
Listen, if you'd have asked me 5 or 6 years ago, or 4 or 5 years ago, however long it would have been, it'd have been 75-25 Tyson. Now it evens up. The odds is evened up. I reckon I'd favour Tyson, but it's a close one. Both men's aged. It's just who's aged most.
And then there's Tyson Fury himself. True to form, he didn't mince words. He declared that his only focus now is Anthony Joshua. Belts, rankings, and other contenders mean nothing to him at this stage. For Fury, this is the fight, the one that defines his legacy and British boxing as a whole. He even went as far as suggesting that if the fight doesn't happen, he could walk away from the sport altogether. That statement alone...
AJ called him the landlord in there. Is he just sick of the years of back and forth at this point?
Because he wants to call the shots, Fury. He always has done. And that's why the fight never happened. So AJ's just saying, look, you need me, you're calling me, and you'll get me. Yeah, the fight, very confident the fight will happen. But at the moment, nothing signed.
Fury said AJ's terrified. Obviously, you don't agree, but yeah, what do you make of that?
Terrified of what? That tonight?
Yeah.
You think you'd be terrified of that? Come on. Even Fury fans, as I was walking out tonight, not the same energy. They know.
Alone shows just how serious and how emotional this rivalry has become. Former world champion Duke McKenzie offered an insightful breakdown of the situation. He pointed out the stark contrast in how both fighters are handling the build-up. Joshua, he said, prefers silence and discipline, avoiding psychological traps. Fury, on the other hand, thrives in chaos.
As I said, I thought that the fight would be certainly teased, if not agreed, in the ring afterwards for September. That's what I've been hearing. But yeah, we heard in the press conference Tyson Fury signed, and maybe
using public pressure, mind games, and confrontations to gain an edge. Two completely different mental approaches, both leading toward the same inevitable collision. Heavyweight contender Agit Kabayel echoed the uncertainty many feel. He described the potential matchup as incredibly difficult to predict. For fans, it's a dream fight. But from a technical standpoint...
The only person that don't want that fight, or sounded like they didn't want the fight, was Anthony Joshua. Talking about not stealing his thunder or whatever. I think the fight's going to happen. I think the fight is happening, and we're all looking forward to it. But Tyson Fury deserves respect, deserves credit, and yeah, we've got to acknowledge that he's just had a solid 12 rounds against a game opponent, and he got some good work in there, and that will set him up for the Anthony Joshua fight. And I'd like to see these two come together a little bit and just be face to face, up close and personal. Then you know it.
It's a true wild card. Kabayel avoided picking a winner, emphasizing that on any given night, anything can happen, especially in the heavyweight division. That unpredictability was reinforced by Shane Fury, who highlighted the brutal reality of heavyweight boxing. One punch can change everything. While he leaned slightly in Tyson Fury's favor, he admitted that the gap between the two fighters
fight, nobody sat the fuck down. Everybody was buzzing. His fight, we fucking fell asleep. He cannot give us any. I don't even know why he's calling out AJ. AJ will fucking smoke him. He needs to relax and I'll call shout out. That fight was shit.
Has narrowed significantly over time. Age, wear and tear, and recent performances have made this a much closer contest than it might have been years ago. Hearn, however, wasn't having any of the Joshua is afraid narrative. He dismissed it outright, calling it nonsense. He pointed out that Joshua has faced elite competition throughout his career and has nothing to fear. In fact, Hearn suggested that even some Fury supporters are beginning to question the confidence behind their own camp's claims. According to
Max, I know the fight will happen.
Definitely, this year.
Yeah, you know, we're just baking the cake. It's going to happen.
Turkey.
You know what Tyson said? He just told you.
But Turkey suggested it was going to be announced tonight, so is there a deal in place?
Well, that's Turkey's business, isn't it? Not mine. But yeah, there's a lot I know, a lot I can't divulge, but I'm just going to say that this fight is going to happen. And the man behind it is Turki Al-Sheikh, and the company behind it will be next.
To him, this is less about fear and more about strategy and negotiation. Veteran broadcaster Adam Smith added another layer to the story. He revealed that there were expectations for some form of announcement or agreement during the recent event, possibly even targeting a September showdown. However, he noted a key imbalance. Fury appears ready and willing, while Joshua remains more reserved. That difference in approach continues to delay official confirmation. From a fighter's perspective,
I think it's a great fight for boxing and for fans. I don't think even man really needs it now. But it's been so long going on. Is it past sell-by date? Probably, but still, it's going to be the biggest. Look how big any Mike Tyson event is, even though how old it is. I mean, so people are going to get behind it. And it will be a fight for the ages in terms of an event and in terms of the two guys fighting each other. They're both great fighters.
Carl Froch didn't hold back. He believes the biggest obstacle isn't Fury, it's Joshua's timing and negotiation style. Froch insisted that the fight is inevitable, but stressed the importance of both fighters coming face-to-face. In his view, only a direct confrontation will truly solidify the magnitude of this rivalry. Then came Derek Chisora, who delivered one of the most brutally honest takes. He criticized Fury's recent performance, calling it flat and lacking excitement. Chisora even questioned why.
Does Anthony Joshua hit as hard as Makhmudov? Of course he does. But does he get to Tyson as easy? I don't think so.
Tyson said in the week he thinks AJ and Makhmudov will be a 50-50
It's two
fight.
different. You've got to remember, it's a 50-50 fight. But you've got to remember this. Tyson's not. AJ's not a wrestler, so it's going to be easy to catch for Makhmudov. I'm telling you, it'll be a totally different fight, total different physical confrontation between those two, and I still think Tyson wins.
Fury would call out Joshua after such a display, boldly claiming that Joshua would dominate the matchup. His comments added yet another layer of intensity to an already heated debate. Spencer Brown, however, brought a more optimistic outlook. He confidently stated that the fight is happening this year. Using the analogy of baking a cake, he explained that everything is being prepared behind the scenes. Deals, platforms, and logistics are all coming together, It's just a matter of time before the final product is revealed.
Don't get me wrong, there was a few little nasty bits, but it's a very, very great thing to see your person you love do.
Trainer Andy Lee described the fight as one of the biggest events in boxing history, even if it may have slightly missed its peak timing. Despite that, he believes the sheer star power of both fighters ensures it will still be a massive spectacle, one that fans won't want to miss. Brown also broke down the stylistic matchup.
Like you can have, when you're young, you can step out the ring for a year, come back and carry on boxing, have time out and carry on, pick it up. You can do that, but once you get past 30, 35, it's totally different kettle of fish. Tyson came in light, fair play. He didn't look in great shape. He did look a bit skinny and a bit loose, but it was enough to get him through the rounds and just do enough. There were times when he held on to Mahamadov and you know, grabbed him around the neck, and he did look a bit out of place, to be honest. And I would have thought that Tyson would have been able to just stand there, just pop and move half a step away, keep away from him, spin around him. But, you know, he did enough to beat that kid. It wasn't particularly impressive. And if Tyson's looking for that Joshua fight, and he'll be a few years older than Joshua.
Highlighting the contrast between Joshua's knockout power and Fury's movement and ring IQ. He described it as a true 50-50 fight, ultimately leaning slightly toward Fury due to his adaptability and experience. On a more personal note, Paris Fury shared her emotional perspective. While she initially had reservations about Tyson returning to the ring, she expressed pride in his dedication.
Anthony Joshua said he would take the fight, but on his own time. After the fight, AJ said he's still dealing with a lot of things, but he'll be ready, guys. And the quote was, as I said, on his own time. It looked to me like AJ was staking out a negotiating position. How did it look to you?
Yeah, I think it was a power move from Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn to say, hey, we're the ones in control. Obviously, they are not, right? Tyson Fury is the cash cow.
Yes, he is. I'm the landlord is what he said.
Come on, he's the 10th, let's be real. But I liked it, it was a great line. And Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, this is similar to Mayweather-Pacquiao. It's gonna happen past when we wanted to see it.
Her comments revealed the human side of the story, the sacrifices, the struggles, and the unwavering support behind the scenes. Trainer Dominic Ingle offered a technical analysis of Fury's recent performance. He acknowledged that while Fury got the job done, it wasn't his sharpest outing. According to Ingle, age and inactivity have affected Fury's rhythm, raising questions about how he would fare against someone like Joshua. Finally, analyst Max Kellerman provided a strategic view.
Nothing signed.
Fury said AJ's terrified. Obviously, you don't agree, but yeah, what do you make of that?
Terrified of what? That tonight?
Yeah.
You think you'd be terrified of that? Come on. Even Fury fans, as I was walking out tonight, not the same energy. They know.
He interpreted Joshua's cautious approach not as hesitation, but as calculated planning. In Kellerman's eyes, Joshua is managing timing, leverage, and career trajectory, all critical elements at this level of the sport. As it stands, the rivalry between Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury has reached a boiling point. Backstage confrontations, public call-outs, and conflicting narratives have created a storm of anticipation. Promoters, fighters, and analysts all have their opinions, but none of it matters until one thing happens: the contract gets signed. Until then, the question remains, when these two giants finally collide, who comes out on top?